What's up, friends? Let's dive into something exciting together. So we use it every day, but have you ever stopped to wonder, how did money start? What was the world like before money? Before we had cash, people used to trade things directly. So if I wanted your cow because I like drinking milk, I'd have to find you and then trade for your cow with my chickens. But that's not ideal. It's hard to find someone who both wants what you have and has what you want. And it's also hard to divide things up. You can't really split a cow into 8 pieces after all. So something had to be invented to make trading easier. Enter money. The earliest forms of money were commodities, things that people already used in trade that had value in and of themselves. They weren't specifically made as money, but people soon realized that they could use these items to make trading easier. One of the earliest examples of this was livestock. Animals like cows and pigs were used as a form of currency in ancient civilizations like the Mesopotamians, the Egyptians, and the Greeks. If you had, say, 3 cows, you could use them to buy, say, 5 pigs. And if you had those 5 pigs, you could use them to buy 7 sheep. Then eventually you could get your hands on some bling. Bling, by the way, is the name of my pet pig. But animals are heavy and sometimes smelly. So the next step in money was precious metals. Gold and silver were the first metals used because they were rare and looked pretty. People started making jewelry out of them, but soon they began using them in trade. Around 600 years ago in China, gold and silver were cast into specific weights and shapes. These were the first official coins. They had a design on one side and were stamped with an official seal on the other. This made them more valuable because everyone knew that the government had approved them. Now, before this, different people would use different amounts of different metals to trade. Like, let's say you're a Roman and you have 5 silver denarii and you want to buy some bread. Well, you go to the market and you meet someone from Greece who also has 5 silver denarii. But in Greece, the silver denarii are worth twice as much as they are in Rome. So now you're both rich and you can buy way more stuff with your 5 silver denarii. This is called the double coincidence of wants. In order for the trade to happen, 2 people need to come together, each wanting what the other has. But once precious metals became the standard, everyone accepted their value. So when you traded 1 gold aureus for a loaf of bread, everyone agreed that the bread was worth 1 gold aureus. After China, the idea of paper money started to spread around the world. The first paper money was issued in China during the Song dynasty around the year 1000. It wasn't actually called paper money, it was called flying money. Flying money was like a loan, so if you wanted to go on a trip, you could turn your valuables over to the bank and get a note saying that you'd get that value back when you returned. Then you'd take that note to a merchant and say, "Hey, here's this note from the bank. I'd like to buy some silk." The merchant would then take that note to the bank and get their valuables back. It was kind of like a check or a promissory note. Now, the great thing about paper money is that you could put a lot more of it in your pocket than you could gold or silver. However, it wasn't very safe because anyone could make a fake note. So it took centuries for paper money to catch on. In fact, counterfeiting is still one of the reasons why we can't trust money today. The next big reason why we use money today is because of the Industrial Revolution. Machines and factories started producing way more money in the 1800s than people were using. So there was a lot of extra money floating around, which made it more valuable. Also, places like South Africa and the Klondike started producing huge quantities of gold. So again, there was just more of it lying around. Now, gold used to be way less valuable. There was even a time when people used to make their toilets out of it. Eventually, most countries agreed that gold and silver weren't necessary anymore and switched to using only paper money and coins made of less valuable metals like nickel and copper. Then after World War II, most of the world switched to using fiat money. Fiat money isn't backed by anything, it's only valuable because the government says it is. After the war, governments needed a way to quickly make and distribute tons of new money to help rebuild economies. So they started creating fiat currencies. The US dollar is one example of fiat money. And now, in the 21st century, most of our money is digital. Only around 3% of the money out there is physical cash. The rest is held in bank accounts and is just numbers on screens. Our whole economy is run on money that isn't even real. But will money still exist in the future? Some think that it won't. As technology advances, it may not be necessary. We may just have a world without money where everything is free for everyone. Others, however, believe that money will always be around. According to this view, money is just a tool and humans love using tools. Just look at all the fancy tools we've invented, like the wheel and the toilet. So maybe money will just keep evolving, whether it's cryptocurrencies or central bank digital currencies. Who knows, maybe we'll go back to trading with cows. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more awesome content. I really appreciate your support. And hey, I'd love to hear your thoughts, so drop a comment below. Thanks for watching.